Hi everyone, good afternoon, and again a very warm welcome to you all at BISP Solutions. This is Farha Alam, and in this tutorial, we are going to learn one of the important concept that comes under the Oracle Fusion HCM Cloud, that is fast formula. So, before we proceed and discuss about the fast formula, firstly we need to know about the formula, as we all are very familiar with this term formula. So formula is nothing but a rule written with some mathematical symbols. So what does a formula basically do? It usually connects two or more quantities with an equal to sign, and when we know the value of one particular commodity, so with the help of formula we can easily find out the other value for the same one. This is basically the formula do. And if I talk about some examples of formula, so here we have so many examples for formulas. Like we have the formula for calculating the area of rectangle, the area of a square, which is 4 by one side, 4 into one side, and we have the area of circle, which is pi square. So if I talk about the pi, so the value of pi is fixed, which is 22 by 7, or equal to 3.14. So either we can use 22 by 7 or 3.14 in place of pi, and we can get the area of circle. So let's move ahead and see what is Oracle fast formula. So Oracle fast formula is a simple way to write formula, which means that Oracle here in the Oracle Fusion application, Oracle provides the most simplest way through which we can write our fast formula. Next, we can write or we can write our fast formula using some English words and basic mathematical functions. It means that fast formula is nothing but it's a combination of some characters or alphabets and some mathematical expressions, or more specifically, I should say that it's a combination of some alphanumeric codes. Next, we can use the database information in formulas without learning database structure or even a programming language. It means that while writing fast formula in the Oracle Fusion application for the HCM cloud, we have to use some database information while writing our fast formula. So whenever the database items comes into the picture, so the SQL query comes into the mind. So here in the Oracle Fusion application, we don't need to write any kind of SQL queries or any kind of programming. We just don't need to worry about anything. We just need to know about some basic knowledge, how to use a particular thing on that particular place. This is about the overview or introduction of fast formula. Next, we have some types of formulas over here. So first we have the validation formula. So as the name itself indicates that the validation formula, so what does this formula basically do? It validates the input entered by the user. So whatever value entered by the user, this particular formula will going to validate that particular value entered by the user. If this the entered value is correct, then we will get the success message. Otherwise we will going to face an error if the entered value is wrong. And next we have calculation formula. So in the Oracle Fusion application, there are some cases when we need to perform some kind of calculation, like we want to calculate the payroll for the employees, we want to calculate their absences. So in order to calculate all these things, then we will opt for the formula which is calculation fast formula in order to calculate all these things related with payroll or absences or whatever we want to calculate. Then we have to opt for the formula, fast formula, which is calculation one. And next we have defaulting formula. So what does this default formula do? Basically, it provides some default value for one or more and entries, for example, if when we let's take an example. If we want to enter, we have a label amount, and here we have a blank field in for the amount. So we need to enter some value for the amount, like 10, 20, 30, whatever value we want to enter. So what happen in this defaulting formula, if we go to that particular page while entering the value, so there exists there present some existing value over there. Like if we want, we reach out to there, and under amount we will be able to see there some value like 10 or 20, and this is basically the existing value. And if we want to provide some other value, we can provide that one also, but the existing value which are already present over there, so how that value comes over over there. So this is basically happen with the help of this defaulting formula. This defaulting formula is basically implemented over there with the help, so that we'll be able to see some default value for the amount. So in order to, so firstly we are going to see the first type of formula, which is validation formula. So let's go to the instance and see how do we implement this validation formula in our Oracle Fusion instance. So for time being, I have already logged into the instance. This is our home page. And in order to perform anything, firstly we need to know the navigation, or we should familiar about the navigation. We should familiar with the navigation. So what are the navigations in order to reach out to the fast formula? Navigation is simple. Click on this profile icon or setting and action, and here under this one we have an option called setup and maintenance. Click on this one, click on the task panel, click on search, and here we need to search for the fast formula, as it is suggesting me, because I have already used this one. That's how it is suggesting me. Pick that one from the drop down or type it over here. Click on search icon and click on this fast formula option. So here the window for the fast formula is displayed before us. So if we want to search for some existing formula, we can search for that also, as by clicking on this search option, and click on this one. So we'll be able to see all the existing fast formula which are present in the Oracle Fusion application. But here we are going to create the new one. So I'm going to create the new one, providing the effective date, this one, and click on create option. Here we need to provide the name for our formula. So this is basically the element input validation formula, which is going to validate the input entered by the user. Element input validation. I'm going to provide this name over here. And next we have to select the type for this particular formula, as we are implementing the element input validation. So select this one, and if you want to provide some other information, you can provide it over here, as I am going to leave it blank, as these are not the mandatory fields. After providing all the information, click on continue. Here the fast formula editor window has display before us, and here we have to write our fast formula. So for time being, I have already written my fast formula. I am going to explain this one also. I'm just going to copy this one and paste it over here. So what this basically what this formula do, it is going to uh, check the input element for the user. If the amount entered by the user is within this range 50 to 80, then it will the formula status will set to S, which stands for success, and will be able to see the message formula message, which is valid amount. And if the entered amount is out of the range, out of this range, then we'll going to see the formula status E, which stands for error, and we'll be able to see the message high bonus. And after writing the formula over here, we have to click on save it. After saving, click on compile. We'll get one confirmation message that our formula is submitted for compilation. Click on OK, and here we can see the compile status is in progress. So we have to refresh this page until we get the success message over here. So we get the compile status success over here. So here our formula has been successfully compiled. Click on done. Now what next we have to do? We have to attach this particular formula to the element. So how do we do that? We have to go to the setting and action, setup and maintenance. Same way we reach out to the fast formula, and here we have to search for the elements option. Here it is. And if you want to create a new element, you can create it. As I'm not going to create a new element, I'm going to use the existing one, which is bonus pay. This is my element in which I am going to attach my fast formula, which I have just created for the element input validation. And here I have to select the LDG, which is US Legislative Data Group. Click on search. Here we can see our element has been searched over here. Click on this one. So our element is over here in front of us. Here we have to click on this added option and click on correct. And here we have to attach our created formula. So as we have created the validation formula, so I'm going to click on this drop down option, so that particular formula will going to display in this drop down list, which is this one, element input validation ff_1. This is the one which we have just created. After attaching this particular formula, click on save it, submit, then click on. Then we can see that our formula has been attached to this particular element. Click on done. Now what will going to be our next job? As this formula has been attached to this element, right? Right now, what next we have to do? We just have to assign this particular element to any particular employee. So how do we assign this element to any employee? We just have to go to the home page, and under my client group, we have to go to person management. Go to person management and search for the person to whom you want to assign this particular element. Search for this one and click on this one, this particular employee's name, and this is Jordan Cook from US, and I'm going to attach my element to this particular employee. So how do we do that? We have just to click on this task panel and click on under payroll, click on element entries, and here we have to um, search for the element, right, which is what was our element. It is bonus pay, right? Search for this one. Here we can see our element. uh, Click on continue. Here we have the amount option, and here we have to provide the value for the amount, and I'm going to, this time I'm going to provide like 20. So let's see what will happen over here. After providing value for the amount 20, click on save, and here we can see that the error message has been displayed before us. As I have told you that this, for if we provide the amount within this range, then only we'll be able to get the success message, otherwise we'll going to face the error. So we are going to face this error, and the message is high bonus because we have not entered the value within this particular range 50 to 80, as I have given the range amount over here 20. So provide the appropriate range over here. Let's suppose I'm going to provide 70 this time. So let's see what happened this time, what will happen this time. So the amount has been assigned to this particular employee. Click on done. So click on close. And if we want to see that this amount has been assigned to this particular employee or not, we just have to go to the applications home page, and here under my client group, click on show more option and just type quick pay over here. So we'll be able to see one option, simplified quick pay. Click on this one, and here we have to search for that person to whom we have assigned that particular element, bonus pay, and click on Jordan Cook, to whom we have assigned. So here we can see the amount 70 has been assigned to this particular employee. So this is about the input element input validation for formula. This is the type 1 which we have discussed in this tutorial. I hope you get it. So if you have any question regarding this, please reach out to us at www.bispsolutions.com. And thank you everyone for watching.